The strong individual is the one who asks for help when he needs it. Rona Barrett. Hello, it's a beautiful Thursday morning, and you're welcome to the Early Morning Podcast. This is Zainab Abdul Majid, and today we are moving on to chapter 4 of our book, There is a Place Called Tomorrow. We started with chapter 1 on Monday, and today is Thursday, which will be the last segment of book reading for the week before we move to next week. So today we are talking about we are going to read from the chapter 4 and share the ideas that we learned and the lesson learned and idea derived. So the title of chapter 4 is Why Not Ask. Then we have a beautiful quote on top that says, the strong individual is the one who asks for help when he needs it. And this quote is stated by Rona Barrett. Then let's continue reading. The world does not know what you truly need until you ask. Nobody will know exactly what you need if you don't ask. You need money, or you need financial help, or you need to save yourself from a situation, but you did not ask. No one will know, because your problems will not be written on your forehead for people to see it clearly until you speak it out. It will not give you a place simply because you are born. It can only give you the place you demand for. The world will not give you a place. The world will not say, okay, become a rich person or become this most influential person ever just because you are born into it. It will only give you a place until you demand for it, until you ask for that position. And you don't have to ask with force, you ask softly, and you ask not. Sometimes you don't ask questions with your mouth, you can ask questions with your actions. When people start seeing you displaying a role of leadership, they start seeing you doing things extraordinarily, they be like, this person is fit for this role, let's put him there. You've demanded for it without having to ask directly. It is an illusion to assume that you'll be given your due right because you are here. It's a big illusion. Just because you are born doesn't mean your right will be granted upon you if you don't ask for it, if you don't demand for it, if you don't work towards it. Nobody will give you what you deserve. Asking is the road to getting what you want. Asking is the road to getting what you want. Getting what you want requires asking. You can ask physically, you can ask verbally, you can ask through your actions, like I said earlier. Those who don't ask only wallow in ignorance, but they never receive anything. If you don't ask, how do you gain knowledge when you don't ask? Google is there to help you. Ask questions. Ask questions on Google, gain information, ask from people who have passed through that experience that you are passing through now. They will be able to help you out. Always ask questions whenever you feel confused. Ask from people who have high intellect than you. Don't ask for someone below you, because you'll be getting the same wrong answer. Ask from your mentor, ask from your parents. They've been in life before you came, so they will have one idea or the other to share with you. So that you don't wallow in ignorance, you must learn to ask. Vast treasures have been unlocked and doors opened simply through asking. Yes, simply by asking questions, you have unlocked. Treasures have been unlocked and doors have been opened simply because questions are being asked. You'll be able to, when you ask questions, you'll be able to determine things, you'll be able to gain more knowledge about things. And from there, you get ideas to create new things from the questions you've asked. You become innovative. When you ask questions, why is light fluctuating? When you hear the answer, you're like, what can I do to improve the fluctuation of this light? From there, you've unlocked treasures. You've opened doors to other opportunities. Anthony Robbins said, if you want to be great, ask great questions. If you want to be a great person, ask great questions. Questions determine the quality of our life. Questions determine the quality of our lives. He who asks questions will never get lost. Exactly. Like Yoruba will say, Abiriono, Kokin Shino. That means he who asks for direction will never get lost. He who asks questions will never get lost. You are going somewhere, you don't know that city or town very well. You decided not to ask. You see people around doing things. Instead of you to come down, ask them, please ma, how can I get to so location? You decided not to be like, I'll use Google Map. Sometimes Google Map, it's not like Google Map is not accurate, but Google Map will only give you landmark of the area you are going. It will not give you the exact location. So we want to know the exact house that you are going, because Google Map will not tell you the color of the house. Google Map would only be showing you the streets you are, the number of the streets, how many landmarks are in that area. But when you ask people around, I'm going to so colored house, they've been there, they will be the ones to take you there. So you who ask questions will never get lost. You lose nothing by asking. You lose absolutely nothing by asking. The worst answer you will get is a no. You can't get an answer worse than no. A no answer does not mean you will never have a yes. Nobody likes being told no. It can be painful. Yes, nobody likes no for an answer. That's why most people don't ask. I've been in such scenario when I was in secondary school, primary and secondary school. I don't like asking questions in class, because I always feel like, what if I asked and the teacher shuns me, or my classmate laughs at me? So I keep it to myself instead of asking. But when you ask questions, there are some people who are also shy of asking. But when you take the initiative and ask, a lot of people will gain knowledge from the question you ask. So after a lecture, you ask the questions. You gain the courage and ask the lecturer that question. You give the answers to you. From there, you are not the only one that learned from that question. Other people also learn. So when you ask questions, you also help others to learn. Don't fear that you will have a no for an answer. Fear rather that you will never have a yes if you keep your mouth shut. Don't fear no for an answer, but fear that if you don't ask questions, you will never have a yes if you keep your mouth shut. Fear that opportunities will pass you by, because sometimes through asking, that's when you gain opportunity. Or maybe you are looking for a job, you start asking around, in case you see a vacancy for so post, I'm available. But when you don't speak up, when you don't ask people, when such opportunity comes, they will not remember you. But when you keep asking them and you keep on putting your questions into their memory, I don't have to put that, keep on asking for this opportunity, from there they already have it in their memory that, okay, this person, so person is very good at this job. So whenever we see opportunity, they will come contacting you. You said you can do this particular job. Okay, I saw an opening somewhere, can you go there? So that's where you gain opportunities. Fear that opportunity will pass you by instead of fearing no for an answer. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Asking requires courage, confidence, and boldness. So to be able to ask questions, you need to gather courage. You need to be confident about yourself, and you need to be bold to ask questions. Asking requires humility and persistence. You ask with humbleness, you ask with humility, you don't ask arrogantly. You ask with humility and you are persistent about it. If you keep on asking, if you keep persisting, you will get the answer you are looking for. Even though if you ask so many times that you get no, there will be a day where you get a yes answer. A German proverb once, do not ask a blind man which is the right way. Of course, when you want to ask, you don't ask some people who don't know anything. You ask some people who have been through such situation, people who have knowledge more than you, your parents, your imam, your pastor, your teacher, your lecturer, your boss, people who are in higher position than you. They have this knowledge already. You ask from them instead of asking someone below you who's just coming up. Sometimes you can ask someone below you sometimes because they might have the knowledge you don't have, but it's better to ask someone that, okay, this person is a very intellect, this person has been through this situation, they've survived it, so how did they do it? You ask them and they will explain to you. Life is like making a telephone call. You can never reach your destination dialing the wrong number. Life is like making a telephone call. You can never reach your destination dialing the wrong number. We can learn from children. They know how to ask. Exactly. They are geniuses and creative when it comes to asking. Most often they get what they want because they don't give up, even if it means shedding tears. Take for example now a child, he or she wants you to buy him a biscuit or sweet. You keep asking, you do not answer. You keep saying tomorrow, tomorrow. No, they'll cry, throw tantrums just to show you that they actually want those things. When you can't bear with the tantrums anymore, you get to buy them exactly what they want. Is that not it? So be like, you can learn from children. You don't have to throw tantrums actually, but you can keep persisting and asking. But don't ask in an annoying way, because some questions asked, the way some people ask questions might annoy the person you are asking such a question. So if you're asking, you don't ask questions like you are demanding authority. You ask questions with humility. You don't be like, so how do you now do that thing? You don't talk to people like that when you ask the questions. You ask questions with humility. Please, can you show me how you get this done, or how you're able to put things together to become this? When you ask with humility, people will be ready to answer you. But when you ask arrogantly, no one is going to ask an arrogant person, because they believe the way you're asking, it means you know something. So you do as if you don't know anything, and you ask with humility. That's a perfect way to gain answers. What is important at the end of the day is whether you have what you want. He that asketh receiveth. Don't frustrate your dream by refusing to ask. If you don't ask, someone else will. Never rely on assumption or guesswork. Remember, assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. Never assume that this is how it is done. Never guess. Ask, how is this thing done? You saw a beautiful design, or you saw a beautiful innovation, and be like, they just put A and B together and that. No, ask the person that did it. How did you do this thing? How were you able to achieve this? Most times they may not tell you everything, but at least they'll give you basic knowledge, and from there you'll be able to know, okay, this is what happened at the end of the day, and you gain the knowledge, and that's it. Wise men still ask questions. Even the most wisest men, they still ask questions. Ask confidently, ask persistently, ask dearly, and ask sincerely. Yes, ask with confidence. Ask with persistent. Continue asking until you get the answer. Ask, using a dear tone. Don't ask arrogantly, and be sincere with your questions. There are some questions that are annoying and irrelevant. Someone already, explained everything from A to Z. You now still, what you've heard before. You now still ask questions, but it's sometimes annoying to the person you are questioning. They'll be like, I just talk about this. So what exactly don't you understand? Although we human being, we have our level of comprehension is different from one person to the other. But before you ask questions, think very well, so that you don't ask questions that will land you in trouble. But because you don't want to land in trouble doesn't mean you should not ask questions. So always ask. And why not ask? So always ask questions. By asking questions, you gain answers. You solve mysteries, you solve problems. You'll be able to be more confident about yourself. You gain more knowledge, and then from there you expand your horizon. You widen and broaden your scope of knowledge by asking questions. So don't close your mouth. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. Always ask questions. Talk, speak up, and speak out. So I hope we've come to the end of today's segment of the early morning podcast, the book reading segment. So we'll continue by God's grace next week, Monday, for the book reading. And by tomorrow, Friday, 9 p.m., we'll be having our first episode of the health talk. We'll be talking generally about how we can maintain or achieve a good sound health. So we've come to the end of today, and I hope you've been pumped with positive energy this morning. So if there has been a question that you wanted to ask someone and you're afraid, gather the courage now and ask before it is too late. They might tell you no, but if you keep on asking, one day they will succumb and give you the right answer. So don't always be afraid to ask. Always ask questions, but ask with sense. It's still the Early Morning Podcast, and my name still remains Zainab Abdul Majid. Do have a lovely day, and remember, I'm rooting for you, and I love you as much as God loves you. Bye. Do have a nice day.